Welcome back to Last Play.
Yep.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Last Play. Wow.
Well, shouldn't zombies take more slashing damage?
Oh yeah, zombies take
Skeletons.
the same from all damage, but they just have a lot of HP. But yeah, the skeletons are highly resistant to slashing and piercing damage. So I'm going to open the door and block you, Burning Hands.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at those ones.
That's one thing I like to see. Hey, no chiming from the background there.
You're not my dad.
I hope not. I
Okay,
sure hope
I
not.
think we should
Okay.
probably.
Just cut our way through. Oh,
Yeah.
look, you killed all of them.
I did.
Well done.
Thank you. I pressed circle
Yep.
and I did it.
And I held R1. That's...
And we won the game.
Oh, hey, what up, Fade? Yep, you're a priest. Yep.
What's he a priest of?
He probably said. And I suppose I'm going to have to go back to that later. Do you recognize the symbol on his chest?
I don't, but I don't know a whole lot about regular D&D gods.
Oh, Ilmater.
I'm not
He's a
right.
priest of Ilmater.
Ilmater.
He also heals us, so that's good to know.
Cool.
Doesn't heal our mana, though, so, like...
Lame.
What a hater. We only asked for one thing, and that's everything.
So don't mind us as we loot the crypts here.
Yep. I mean, they're over on... Again, I feel like you should have known this. Like, you bring adventurers into your place, we steal all your stuff. Without fail. So yeah, my favorite character who I ever played in D&D was definitely Medea, the wizard who should have been a multi-class fighter wizard, but absolutely wasn't a multi-class fighter wizard. So this was a character I built with one thing in mind, is that I wanted to cast Magic Missile a whole lot. And so I created a character all around casting Magic Missile. And like in Pathfinder, there's a lot of... Ooh, a Fine Club, that should be good. There's a lot of meta magic feats. It still sucks. There's a lot of meta magic feats that you can use to augment a spell to make them more strong. They just take higher spell levels when you do so. And so I had so many meta magic spells that it turned my Magic Missile from like... Magic Missile to begin with is also already a pretty good spell when it comes to D&D. Finally got a good mace. Yeah, Magic Missile, as it stands, is already a good spell. Like, it never misses. It deals solid, consistent damage. And so when I looked online, there's a lot of builds like how to make your Magic Missile do a lot of damage. And a lot of them seemed to, like, break the rules. And so I wasn't a huge fan of them. And so instead of making the Magic Missile do a lot of damage, instead I made it do a lot of secondary effects. And so I had a Magic Missile that not only did every time I cast Magic Missile, it would attempt to trip them and knock them down. It would...
Oh, we have half of a zombie.
Oh, yeah, half a zombie. It would also slow them. Or rather, it would entangle them, which was essentially like a minor slow effect. Oh, I'm gonna block Burning Hands.
Yeah, I was there for that campaign.
Yeah, and so it was really fun just like being in situations like I cast a Magic Missile, everyone falls down and everyone's entangled. And the DM was actually getting a little frustrated because it's so hard to counter that.
It is really annoying too.
Because being tripped in D&D is actually pretty major, because you take massive penalties if you attempt to fight while like on the ground, and also like constantly trying to get up and being knocked down again is really like bad for your ability to do anything. And so oh sorry, I found stuff. I didn't know I was still fighting.
We're looking for Ipswich's medallion.
Yep.
Didn't we?
That's what he was telling us to do. We didn't find that.
Okay.
And so, but beyond that, like, my character also had this, like, I built this character who was essentially extremely weak-willed.
Those ghosts. Come here, ghosts.
No, they're just wandering. They're mad that there's zombies.
Just upset.
Yeah.
Disappointed in us mortals.
Yeah. And so it's very weak-willed, and so not only was like had low wisdom, but I gave her a very specific like drawback that she would always believe what people told her. Like, if people lied to her, she wasn't allowed to roll sense motive to try and disbelieve them. She would always believe them, so long as it wasn't, like, an absolutely unbelievable lie. And also, like, people would say stuff, and I would just, like, have zero suspicion or, like, belief that they were lying. And luckily for me, like, the party never actually figured this out. It just meant that every time they had, like, a dumb idea or were trying to, like, get me to do something, I'd be like, yep, I'll do that for you. Oh, you want to invade this Archmage's tower? I'm absolutely going to do that. And that was a really fun character to play because I didn't have to make any decisions. I just, like, stood back and people were like, hey, do you want to do this? I'm like, yep, I can do that. Absolutely.
Just made out of enthusiasm.
Yep. Because that's very different to almost every character I play, which is, like I very rarely play a character that is either very dumb or doesn't make decisions. Because I played a character that was very dumb and made decisions, which was also very fun. So, like, just being able to sit back and, like, let other people decide what they want to do was enjoyable. And it's a shame that that campaign didn't last very long.
Yeah. I think that one had to do with us killing, like, the main quest giving NPC.
Well, there's a lot of
Also-
reasons why that campaign didn't last long. It started with the fact that the DM kind of made a call that, like, wanted to limit the amount of languages we spoke. So, like, made it so that if you had bonus int, you didn't start with more languages. And because we're a bunch of assholes... hold on, I got an amazing club, so I'm going to drop the club.
The biggest reason they're in.
Yeah. So you can have
disruption.
Yeah, I'll show you what that does. Basically, every time you score a critical hit, it kills the undead outright. And because I've improved critical, yep, bam. So yeah, because we're a bunch of assholes, we worked together to make sure that our entire party did not have a language in common. So no two people could actually communicate with each other. For, like, one person playing a goblin who only spoke goblin. For me, I was the one who was speaking common. We had a monk who understood all the languages but had a vow of silence, so couldn't talk to any of us. We had someone, I think, who only spoke dwarven, and essentially, like, we got together just because we had to, but we could not speak to each other. And somehow we, like,
A lot of hand.
a lot of hand motions, and eventually we got to a point where I think you could like translate for the rest of us. Dakota, I think your wizard was able to speak with us.
Yeah, but I was also.
Yeah, you
insane.
a little insane,
Mad.
antisocial. Had a mind flare as an eidolon, no big deal.
Yeah, Mind Flare Butler.
Yeah.
Nice.
So all things considered, like, our party was not adventuring material.
Yeah.
Still, that was quite a
pretty
fun
effective.
campaign. Oh yeah, like, together we wrecked everything.
Absolutely all of it.
Wow, frick! Why did these? I don't remember this being so hard. I didn't put it on hard mode.
It's just because I'm here. You
Can't function properly.
Nope.
It's because I haven't actually spent the effort exploring a whole bunch because we're putting a show on. So now we're under geared and under experienced.
Oh no.
Oh no! I guess we just gotta get good. So yeah, the one thing about, like, playing is that you get to make characters like that. As a DM, it's very difficult to make quirky characters because, like, the party's not going to interact with your characters all that often, and you don't want to too often, like, just stick a DM character into the fray because, like, then you kind of take the freedom away from your players to make decisions or, like, do things. Because then they start relying on your DM character to, like, do it because, like, oh, if the DM is playing, then they're going to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, I'm out of healing potions.
yep. Let's,
Or how are you at? Recall, you think?
yeah, I think it's time to do some shopping.
Whoop, we're out.
But that's cool. Because, as most people who are into D&D can probably attest to, like, I really like making characters. And as a DM, you get to, like, introduce those characters to the group fairly commonly. But the issue is you, damn, this is a good scimitar. Do you want the scimitar? It does 7 damage every time.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, I have magical leather gloves. When did that happen? Let's sell this king dagger here. So yeah, it's very difficult to like keep your characters relevant. So when you introduce a character, they're often either forgotten or because if you're spending so much time making sure that everyone's like keeping up with everyone and making sure that they're able to do the things they want to do, you often forget like, oh yeah, I need to play this character I have following them around. And so as a DM, I've created a lot of characters, and they're useful to like bring in as like important NPCs. And I think one of the most interesting times that happened was actually I'll tell this story next time on Last Play. Next time.